Pittsburgh Regional Transit recently approved next year's operating budget, including the $100 million deficit the group is anticipating due to state funding cuts. Today, residents in the South Hills made their own route in Dormont to encourage more support for the state legislature to fund public transit. And they say transit is not just a necessity, it's a lifeline. Neighbors were making noise today, both in the street and on the sidewalk, to make sure their voices are heard in Harrisburg. They're asking state lawmakers to approve more funding for public transit in the upcoming budget, or it will affect commuters all over the South Hills.
In Dormont alone, we have the T and the 41. And then with these cuts, it's every bus line that reaches the South Hills community. So anybody that takes a bus will be out of luck. And so that's a lot of people.
We lose the entirety of the Silver Line, which is going to cut pretty much all transit access to Bethel Park and South Park. So if we don't get the funding that we need for PRT in this budget, public transit is pretty much going to cease to exist in the South Hills.
And many of the demonstrators say having that access to public transit is what drew them to the area.
So I moved up here from Houston to be closer to family, and I picked Mount Lebanon because, you know, it had the T coming through it.
There are so many working class people here, and we rely on public transit, whether it's taking the bus to go get food, getting downtown on the T or the bus. People use it to get out to the airport. It's just a vital part of our community.
But not only does cutting transit affect riders, that effect is also felt by drivers.
Even if we're not taking transit day in and day out, all those folks who are on transit now are going to be added to the roadways.
Funding improves not only transit and the lives of our community and specific employers, but all of us, because we all use the roads.
Governor Shapiro has proposed $292 million from the budget to help support 52 different transit systems across the state. The transit funding bill was approved in the State House weeks ago, but is still being negotiated in the Senate a week after the state's budget deadline passed.